Hi everybody, welcome to a brand new series on the Hamlet on Farming Simulator 25. This is a map by GrimlocK RRC, who brought us a couple of maps I've played on. Countryside Lands or Les Tres Campagnards in French, All Alone in the World 2K25 and the Pleasant Valley. I think he might have had a hand in one or two of the maps as well. The French modder does some nice work. I decided I wanted to play this map even before the Triple Threat Challenge came out, and I had actually jumped in onto it before I went away on my break, and somehow I corrupted the save on it somehow. I don't know how. It wasn't what I'd left. I'll put it that way. So anyway, I was looking around just trying to start out in it, so I decided to come back in again. Let me show you the map, and then I'll run through things with you. It's not that big. It's small enough. There's quite a few areas when you take into account. I think there's 80 something in total. There's a couple of farms on it. There's one sheep farm which is up here. There is also a farm that has pigs on it. It could be 29. I'm not too sure. And then we have our start farm. So what we'll do is let's jump to our start farm, and I'll run through it with you. Pay no attention to that trailer there. I'm running the red tape mod, and they have given me a demo straight off when I jumped in, and I just said I'll take it because they don't always give them to you if you refuse it the first time. So that's the vehicle dealership down there. We're just running up here to our farm. This is one of our fields, no crops in it whatsoever, needs ploughing. We have a meadow here on our cow barn. I did alter this cow barn. The cow barn, if you go into this map, is facing the other way, but there is no gates to access it. So when I went to change it and put it down again, the layout has the fence in here when you're trying to place it where the machinery shed is. So it won't allow you to place it, and I would have had to remove the shed and everything to put it down that way, do the fence, and then. So I just said no, it doesn't really matter. I'll leave it as is. Our farmhouse is over there. That's it there. And we have this field here, which is not a field. It is open meadow. So basically on this series, we're starting with little or nothing. We have 10 grand, just a euro under for some reason. I don't know why. We have a silo here, which is empty. We have a lot of old equipment. We have an old John Deere 3650. We have one single Samaz side mower, as I call it, rear side mower. Everything has damage. Everything is ours on it. We've a windrower, a plough, cultivator, Great Plains seeder. Basically, a lot of the equipment will be the same as start equipment. We have a loader for the John Deere. We have a weight. I placed that manure bunker. I don't know, is it linked? It's not saying it is. I'm just hoping it is, because there wasn't one. So hopefully we won't have a problem with that. We can have 105 cows in total. We have our milk is in here. And we have our rigger there. But where's the tank? Is there a tank? Or is it just on the ground? Might be just on the ground. Anyway. Nope, we have a Bowser there for transporting milk anyway. So basically what we're doing on this map, we're starting with nothing but the old machinery. You could kind of say we've taken over a broken farm or a rundown farm with nothing on it. There's nothing on it, no animals on it. We have a debt of 250,000 over 5 years, which is just under 5 grand a month. And we have no feed for our cows. So we have no cows. Now, the goals, just let me run through the goals with you really quickly here. Oh. It's not the tractor, it's loud. I somehow managed to turn the volume up. Sorry about that. Yeah, goals on this. As I said, we're starting with our machinery, which is very basic. This tractor, and we're going to limit horsepower to 200 horsepower. We've the front loader, bale fork, small plough, cultivator, seed drill, rear mower, windrower, small water mill tank, and small grain trailer, combine harvester. We've two fields, one in meadow grass and one empty with no crop. The cow barn with pasture, milk storage, grain silo, and a machine shed. Now, finances, as I said, we've 10 grand starting out, 250,000 of a loan. The rule again is we're going to buy second-hand 200. We've one tractor with less than 200 horsepower. We're going to try and stick with the one tractor. This is specifically for the first year. We're not going to make any major changes. Starting equipment must be kept for the first year. So it means we're going to have to plough with that plough. We're going to have to work with everything we have. Now, anything we haven't got, we can lease. The other thing too, and I just realised I haven't put the clock on while I'm doing the explanation because I want to run the clock on 3. So I didn't want it to count down too fast. Contract payout is going to be set at 50%. So we're not going to get a lot from that. Leasing is allowed on equipment we don't have. We're going to try and do contracts with our own equipment. There's no other overpowered models or unrealistic equipment at all. And all animals must be bought from the dealer and transported manually. There's no like buying them and putting them in the shed. So for the first year goal kind of is before expanding into livestock, we have to produce the animal food, which is going to be hay. And until we have hay, we can't buy them. We're going to buy calves from the animal dealer, transport them, as I said. And the goal is to build a realistic working system and no rush on the animals at all. What I want to do with this is make it kind of a series that I can play through without taking too many jump cuts and stuff like that. Just to kind of come in and do the work in the episode and then move on. So the other goal is to eventually buy the other 2 farms. They're not that expensive as far as I know. I did do my research on it when I was looking at it before, but I can't remember offhand because I didn't bother looking when I came back in now to set up because I'd actually done it before. So we're going to struggle a bit. We're going to struggle a bit with this tractor. I don't mind that. There is options there, as I said. There is options in the second-hand market already we could consider, but we're not allowed to change any of the equipment for the first year. We're allowed lease the likes of we have a windrow, we don't have a tether. We want to make hay out of this because realistically grass would go off, whereas hay you can store it. So that's what we want to do. We want to keep the hay until we have sufficient there to get the cows and feed the cows and keep the cows going. So this field at the moment is just meadow grass. It's not sown. So what we're going to do with this, when this is done, we're going to plough it and we're going to put probably grass back into it again. The other field over the far side, that's just showing a cultivated state, but showing it needs ploughing. We're going to put wheat or barley or something like that into, which will give us straw to allow us to put in bedding for the cows and that. Running the red tape mod, if we haven't got straw, we're going to get penalised for having the cows on no bedding and stuff like that. But we're not trying to be perfectionists on this by no means. And the same with precision farming, we're meant to direct drill. We're going to have to work with what we have. Contract-wise, we're going to do a couple of contracts just to keep our head above water. There won't be anything major. We will benefit from the precision farming every now and again when we get a demo of a nice piece of equipment. Like that trailer really is of no value to me, but I know before when I was offered a scheme on the red tape mod for a demo and I didn't take it, it took a couple of months before I was offered one again. So I don't know whether that had a bearing on it at the start or not. Not 100% sure, but I just said when I came in and I was doing the setup and it came up in the menu in the corner, it said demo scheme available. And I said, right, I'll take it. Looked and seen what it was and I said, well, probably not going to use it, but let's take it anyway. So, yeah, a couple of things missing off the farm. I don't think we have a diesel tank. We'll have to put down something. Other than that, we'll work with what we have there and kind of starting, you could say, starting with the start farm on this map gives you nothing. Few headaches, but you know, it's a kind of playthrough I like kind of doing. I would normally swap out some of the equipment when I start. I just said, no, let's jump in and let's take the pain on the older equipment and the stuff that is there. Granted, it's kind of base game equipment that you get on starting on Riverbend Springs or any of them. But yeah, it just gives you a little bit of work to do, to work along with. So I just said to myself, you know what, I'd like a map that's small. The goal to own the map. Maybe not own the map, but own quite a few fields on it. Eventually, I haven't really looked at comparisons of prices of the fields. It's not something I really checked out on. I was just drawn into the map itself, and I have played on 2 maps that GrimlocK brought out before. I did actually start Load of Pleasant Valley, and I started on that just to see what it was like, and I actually thought when I was playing it, yeah, it'd be a map I'd like to record a series on, but I wasn't recording series, so I didn't stay on it. But what I have been doing while I haven't been recording, I did do a really big playthrough on Kinleg where I had the start farm bought. I built a castle, I built a windmill at the start farm, and I had an arable farm, and then I had a dairy farm, or a livestock farm. Now, when I say livestock, it was all cattle. I'd done the Highland cattle on it. I had 2 barns for them that I had 75 in each of them. The barns held 150, so each time they got to reproduce and I sold the seniors, I had more beef cattle, and I had 2 big dairy pastures. And I was using the red tape mod, which was difficult because I kept having to get rid of a lot of manure to stay within the limits. But I learned all about putting manure down on the fields, whereas I used to just ignore it before and just bring it and sell it, and that was it. So it kind of gave me an insight into different things of the game I hadn't done. Apart from that, then I played that for quite a long time. Got to the point where it was just, I owned a substantial amount of fields, and I had millions in the bank. At one stage, I actually dumped a whole lot of millions using the power tools and went back to having little or no money because it looked ridiculous. It was me working away with, I think there was 15 million in the bank or something like that at one stage, and you're kind of going, well, what's the point? So what I done with it then was I did play it to the end, where I knew I had built a very successful empire and was making loads of money. And then when I jumped out of that, you wouldn't believe what map I went on to next. Map I'd never played. And I haven't played much on a Hutan Pantai. And I'll tell you why I like using Giant's maps for certain things is because Giant update them and update their stuff to suit their own maps, you seem to have less problems on them. And that's it. I played Riverbend Springs to the death. I didn't do Hutan Pantai at all because when I got into 25, I was watching Dagwin every day, and he was on Hutan Pantai, and so was Chainsaw, and it was kind of like I had seen everything on the map while they were playing it. So I kind of knew it inside out. And it was kind of a case of, overkill. Other maps I played, Carpathian Countryside, yeah. I went in and I took the start farm on that, and then I played it for about a week, and then I went back out and I started with no farm. I just felt the start farm on some maps like that, it's a gorgeous map. But when you have a start farm that has so much stuff on the start farm, it kind of puts me off because it took me so long to just learn my way around. Now, let's have a look. We'll just save that. We have our grass done. We need a tether. We're going to go and get it now in the dealership. Let's have a look at contracts just for the sake of it. Do we have anything we can do? We have nothing we can do. We're going to have to lease a baler. We don't have one. No, we've nothing at all we can do. We don't have the equipment for it. We could do that. We don't need to take the equipment. We have the equipment for that. So we may if we have time. Clock's running on 3. And we're going to see how far we get. So I kind of want to do this series as a playthrough where you're not doing major jump cuts all the time. You can go down this way too. You can. I've always gone the other way. I'm sure there's a road down here. We'll find out now. Or the path, the farm path. Yeah. I've not overly explored the map. I know my way around it, kind of. But like that, when I came in, I said it to you, I couldn't understand, or didn't know exactly where the pig farm was. I do know where the sheep farm is. Or is that the other way? Yeah, I know where the sheep farm is, but I didn't know where the pig farm was. There is, what productions is there? I don't know where there's many productions on this map. There's absolutely no productions. So everything you do, you're going to have to put down your own production if you want to, which that's fine. They'll just be basic productions. Maybe the improved, productions, improved base game productions that come out if I need them, if I have the room on my farm to put them down. Let's look. Any tethers? I haven't even looked in here. Any tethers in there that I could buy cheaply? Lots of equipment here I won't need ever because the map's not big. There's a tether. Do we jump in and we're going to use it? So, yeah, okay, right. This is our first investment. Let's buy it. That's gas. When the reason I didn't think there was one in here was because when I last was on this map messing about, there would have been no tethers. I was kind of trying to think what to do. Now, I really shouldn't spend that money because we don't have a lot, but I will do. I'll do a couple of contracts when I get my hay done. We will lease the baler. Small square baler, I think, is what I'm going to get. So I can lift them up. I don't even know. The farm tech trailer I have, I can make it into a bale trailer. Or I can just throw them in the back of that. I don't have any bale storage, but I'm going to put them straight into the pen anyway. This other pen beside me here, that's another cow pen. I will aim to buy that eventually. The other thing too, I will not be merging any fields. I won't be making any real changes, of course, throw it out on the road, to any fields on the map. I won't be merging them. I won't be taking down the fences around the existing pastures or anything. I like to go with what the map author has actually designed in some cases and keep it that way. There is other places or other cases where I would merge fields and put them together and do things like that, but just for this, because it's a small map, I'll leave it be. The other thing too, doing the triple threat challenge, which has a lot of restrictions, and of course I've added more in myself to make it that bit harder. I do like to have a map that I just go in and play. I won't say unrealistic, but I play, like, give you the rolling fields in Michigan is one I went on to have a look at, and I do a start with all the start farm and equipment and all, and 500 grand in the bank and no loan and stuff like that, just so you're not constantly under pressure. Now I find that when you get into farming simulator anyway, you know how to make money one way or the other. On a map like that, I probably don't need 500 grand in the bank because there's a couple of decent fields at the start and that, and it gives you've plenty of scope for making money on a map like that. But I would like to do a map that's a 4x. Now, I don't know how close we are to Saxingham 4x coming out, or how far away it is, or I'd love a recommendation. If you're watching this and you can give me a recommendation for a 4x map. I suppose the only 4x I've done on an American map that I've done for a period of time would have been Dew the Plains in Montana. So yeah, just something for a 4x. You can use bigger equipment, and I won't necessarily be recording a series on it, but it's just to just for a break from being totally under rules all the time when you're playing. And like, not that I'm under rules here apart from using the equipment I have and keeping it small. That's not, I wouldn't really call them restrictive rules. I call it sticking in, with equipment that sort of suits the style of the map rather than anything else. But yeah, just I kind of missed out on quite a few of the reviews while I was away on holidays, and I don't know whether anything has come out. I've been kind of going back over Mr. CDP and Farmer Klein reviews, and what I tend to look at is look at one maybe on Farmer Klein, and then I'll go, right, let's get a second opinion. And I'll go to Mr. Silly P then and have a look and see what he has to say about them, and I'll kind of do it that way rather than going in and jumping into a map just based on one opinion, because they're two great reviewers, but I've often found that they're doing the reviews when the map come out, and when you go in and play the map, you might find out, well, they actually missed that because you mightn't find it on the map for a week or two of playing it, you know, that type of way. There might be something that's not very obvious in the description or in the actual layout of the map, and then you come across it. So I've seen sometimes you go in and Farmer Klein's review would miss something that Mr. Silly P would pick up on. And I'd sometimes be looking at them doing reviews on maps, and they'd be going on about a certain map, this, that and the other. And I don't think they'd realise that it's like when the Polish maps, we had Sibikovo, and then the one the Triple Challenge is on, Walla Zabra. I still don't know it off by heart. They're both by GrimlocK, and GrimlocK brought out a few other maps, Lipinki and stuff like that. So I think you kind of get the feeling when you go into maps straight away. I knew them and I seen the PDA for the Walla, the Triple Challenge map. I knew them and I see the PDA. I said that's a GrimlocK map. And you do get that. The same with GrimlocK. I kind of knew when the Pleasant Valley came out. I said that looks very much like a GrimlocK RRC map, and yeah, it was straight away. I kind of knew. So it'd be the same with other map authors. You kind of know their style, and it'll be the same when Wickham Park drops. It'll have a similar style in certain ways to Oz's other maps, or sorry, not Oz, what you call them, Oxygen, David's other maps. It will have a similar style. We kind of know that, and that's what you get when you see authors doing maps. They kind of have a style they do them in. I'm just wondering now. I'm here making these hay bales. Well, I will eventually make the hay bales when they do get around to baling, and I don't know whether I assume that the barn will actually hold bales or take bales in the intake and not just loose. This is why I like this. Really, I like the smaller equipment you have to use part of the map, and it really is it just challenges you just that little bit. Now we'll go up and then we'll go back and we'll get it in, because there's not going to be an awful lot in it. It seems a shame that I know the meadow's not growing. If I had been able to get into that field with the fence, I would have actually cut the grass in it and baled it up as well, but it is what it is. Just a hindsight. Let's just have a look how much, or no hindsight, the outlook. Let's see how much these fields are anyway. That's 104. Right, the one next to us, 34. I don't know what that is. Is that could be a grass field or something. I think some of these are meadows. So just to get an idea, if that's barley, is it? Yeah, 68, 55. How much is the sheep pen? 49. Okay. So they're not overly priced, but when you've no money there, you know, when you're starting out, But we'll knock out a couple of contracts each month. It won't be overly stressed because we're out on the road to bring this back in. Won't be doing like 20 contracts a month or anything like that. It'll just be to keep our head above water, to pay the loan back and keep a bit of money in the bank. So if we do buy animals and that, if we get caught out and we need to lease equipment to do contracts or anything like that. Now, granted, we have a really small 3-board plough, and I will not be doing ploughing contracts with that 3-board plough. It's just too small. One of the reasons I kind of said, right, let's use our own equipment is because any harvest contracts, fields are small. I have the Massey Ferguson. It's big enough to do contract work with my own equipment. I have small enough trailer, okay. But the trailer's something we can address if we need to lease a trailer. So be it. If we were doing a decent sized field, or if I decide to do a couple of harvest contracts, but we all know we'll have harvest contracts in this month, go up the hill. We'll have them in this month, but we won't have them probably when we move into next month. So I'll probably just get one done in this day, because we've only got the one day at the start. That's the other thing I need to do. I have the setup set to 4 days. I don't need 4-day months. It's just my standard when I go into setup. It's just what I kind of tend to do. But I definitely don't need 4-day months on this map. So yeah, it'll be nice to own that other pasture and put, I don't even know how many animals go in it because I won't know until I own it. But definitely it'll be more than we have. Okay, right, we're going 27 minutes now, and that's what I kind of wanted to just work through everything. And I've given you the run through. You see what I'm doing here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get this road up and then go and get a baler, and I'll bring it back in when I'm baling. Let's see what we can lease for a baler. Let's see. Small squares, they're going to be liftable, very liftable. Okay. I loaded up this New Holland. I haven't tried it yet. It came out there recently. I've used the Massey so many times. We're only leasing anyway. So let's have a look. Is there anything strange with it? Not really. Let's try 30 horsepower. What can go wrong? Wheel setup. We don't need anything fancy. Lease. 754 to lease it. So we have a New Holland baler on a John Deere tractor. Now, we'll give it a spin. I'm tempted to try the see, well, can I bale one of the baling contracts with this and get away with it? What else has come in there? Anything else we can do? We don't have a hoe. Spraying wood transport. No, thank you. Yeah, we'll get something out of that. It's going to be a baling contract anyway. I just need to check. Am I on? I'm not. I'm going to say, what am I on? It should be on hard economy. Okay, there's another setting I haven't changed either while I'm in here. Settings. Contracts. Payout. Reward. 50%. Oh yes, we're doing this again. 50%. Same as we done on what you call it, Drummond Farms. We were running on 30% payouts on the contracts. And to be honest, on some things it made a big difference, other things it didn't. Wrapping contracts it didn't for some reason, but some of the other ones it did make a substantial difference to the income. I'm assuming you need to fold this out. Yeah. Lower down, turn on. Any bets on the mini bales we got? Here they are, popping out. Hey bales, thank you. Well, they're coming out hot and fast. Considering that this is only meadow grass. It's not even sown grass. There's sown grass going in here. I'm hoping that it'll improve the yield then, and it'll give us enough then to look after the cattle. We're going to be in a tight pickle though with regards to lime and fertilizer and that, because mind you, you could shake it out of a bucket. This field is so small, and you'd probably have enough. So we won't be going overboard with our purchases on fertilizer and lime anyway, but we'd probably do it anyway just to give us a better yield. And let's see, what are we up to already? 18 bales already. I was only thinking with my pickup truck, I can actually bring the bales in the back of the pickup truck if I wanted to, because they're only small bales. Eventually we'll get a round baler. Keep it small. I don't want a big square baler. Just small. 120 round baler is perfect. Kind of keep it in line with what you'd expect on a farm this size. No point in having a baler doing 240 centimetre square bales when you're only feeding a handful of cattle anyway. Curious, since it's 105 in my pasture, I'm wondering what the other one is. I'll be going back now and having a look at Farmer Klein's review because he does buy it. I won't. I'll actually leave it for a surprise when I do eventually get around to buying it. Get that far. Okay, we'll go back up this one. Okay, I'll get these done. And then, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick a baling contract that's close by and just accept it using my own equipment, which will be this. And just, let's see, will it still count using this small square baler? We'll try it out. We'll give it a go anyway and see what happens. I actually think this setup was ideal for this farm and for the fit of the map. Let's get this last little bit. Okay, let's see. How many bales did we get? We got 82. Okay. Let's unload what's in the baler. Fold it up. And let's take a look at baling contracts. What have we got that's close by? Well, and everything is kind of close by. You know what I mean? 60. 61. Either of them. Okay, let's go to 61, which is just down the road. We'll give this a spin and see, does it work? I didn't even, hold on. Going to 61, it's saying square bales, so it'll probably see it as okay, these square bales. To be honest with you, the money seems very, I look and go, they're not worth much, but I forgot I'd reduced it to 50%. Okay. And I'm on hard economy as well, so double-edged sword, as they say. In for a penny, in for a pound. I was looking to see where the fuel is. The fuel is meant to be down beside the where is that field? Oh yeah, it's the one where the car is parked. Yeah, like most GrimlocK maps, when the traffic stops at the corner, it tends to sit there for ages before it moves off. should start to register. Does, yeah. Okay, well, we know that works. You know, this is perfect size machinery for this map. Really is. There is other plots around where if you buy the land attached to that barn over there, you get that. So, like, you kind of have that option when you're buying fields as well. I don't know which field that would be attached to. Let's see before I venture off. Is that on its own? It's only 8,000. Oh, okay. And you end up with that shed. You'd probably find if you could sell the shed, I don't know where you could or not, you'd probably make more than that money back. Anyway, yeah, I'll get this knocked out and then see what I'm going to do then. Get our bales picked up, I think, and into our cow barn and see how much we actually have food-wise. This seems to be a very thirsty tractor. Let's see how much this costs. I assume it was full when I got into it at the start. I never really looked. 169 for fuel. I mean, maybe I wonder could it be anything got to do with the repair state on it, or fuel usage is set to normal. It's not set on low. I did take on another contract, and I didn't empty the baler. I was gone out of the field before I realised. Oh, this is a little bit further up than I actually thought. Okay. We're going through the village. I couldn't fold the baler because I didn't empty it. I was gone out of the field and I didn't want to drop it in the middle of the road, although once I take the payment, it will actually disappear anyway. There's the field. We can see it in the distance. This is the pig farm. Here, this one beside us. And that is the co-op sell point over there. I think that's the pig farm. I'll stop before I end up in the water. 29, it's 41,000. Okay. So they're not overly expensive. Mind you, they won't be overly, what would you call it, overloaded with the amount of animals you can put in them, but still. Okay, I'll get this knocked out, bring you back. Them 2 contracts are done and in the bag. I didn't collect the money yet, let's do that. It's telling me I have hay that's worth 3,000 in January. So it's actually counting on the field. Okay, contracts. So 726 and so with 2 grand between them. It'll go to cover the cost of the baler. I spent money. I put down this garage. Yeah, it seems to be using a lot of diesel. I know when you try to put the diesel in this, I've used this before. And you have to be really... No, won't do it. Okay, I was putting it down for the repair rather than the diesel anyway. Yeah, it just seems to use a lot of diesel. Now repair. Or customise, not repair. We don't need to repair. 8 meter extension, bale trailer. There we go, we have bale trailer. Okay. That's all I was looking for. I put it down for repair. I wasn't really worrying about. If it does allow us to buy diesel here, well, so be it. I know it can be very dependent where you're parked in relation to it for getting diesel. So I did use this somewhere else. I was having issues, but this is more as a repair bench than anything else. So let's start loading up some of these bales. It'll take a bit of time. Get them on. It's handy that they're all liftable anyway. You know, I'd probably be better off with the sides on. And I could just fire them in. If we can get 20, we're a quarter of the way there anyway. We'll get what we can on. Why is super strength on? Maybe it must be the combination when I was trying to get the baler to unload or something. I couldn't get the baler to unload it all, and I was pressing buttons like a mad thing. I haven't used super strength at all on anything. That's why I was lifting them so easy without them going flying. Okay, what I'll get these up and get one load up and just get them into the shed, and we'll see how we're going then. We'll take a look at it and see how we're doing with food in the shed. Loaded them up by hand, but some of them are starting to fall off. They're not catching on to the straps now. The ones up on top. So I'm gonna drive in and see, will these get taken in okay? Oh, there we go, I lost another one. Yeah, they're gone. Okay, what have we got in here? We've 32,000 litres in there. Does it tell us what it holds? Yeah, we're covered. Hey, 32,000. It doesn't say how much. Okay. We lost 2 on the way up. Anyway, yeah, at least we know it works. Okay, I'm going to load up the rest of these and then I'll bring you back in once I have it done. Okay, all the bales are in. So what have we got in here? 53,000 litres. Okay. Effectively now we could put some cattle in here if we wanted. Just on the off chance, let's see if we... Just want to see if we put 10 in, how much would that cost us? 2,500. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. We have the feed, we've no straw, it doesn't matter. Can buy a bale of straw if needs be. No, we're going to leave it for now. Yeah, let's just drop that trailer off there. And I'm going to plough that field. So let's get weight picked up. Now let's drive this tractor over this way and see can we refuel here. I'd like to know we can. There we go, yeah, it's working. 26. It might be cheaper to buy fuel there than at the garage. At least we know it's working, you just have to be on the right side. So, I have to create a field up here anyway. And I need to plough that other field out there. This one I'll try get done and get planted before. Oh, you know what? We're going to have stones as well. That's me and my usual field stone. Okay, so we need to allow create. There we go. I'm going to just do the outside first. So I have my outline and then I'll work. Then I have access to this land. So I'm right on the edge, which I knew it would be, which is grand. It's highlighting what's mine and what's not. That's okay. Gets me to keep it in my own territory, so to speak. If I go too far out, I'll utilise every bit I can, of course. But that's just me. I do have some of the smaller, cheaper stone pickers loaded. So it means we can lease one, get the stones up. I haven't returned the baler yet. I may do. Don't really mind going all the way up here because it's our land anyway, and it just means it's only grass. If it was another crop going in, I'd be a bit more cagey now. I want to just keep it tight enough to the road, but I don't want to run the risk of damaging the road itself. That's perfect because it's only grass. Not too worried about the edge being completely straight, although I might come back the other way and just tidy it up once it's done. But anyway, yeah. The Hamlet, first episode, done. I'm not going to keep you in when I'm ploughing fields. I'm just going to be ploughing fields and getting this sown and that. So I'll bring you back for the next one. We have the other field over there to do as well, and then see how we're making progress. Contract wise, yeah, probably going to do a few more. I just flipped in here to see was there anything else. There's 2 mowing contracts beside each other, 50 and 51. I'd probably do the 2 of them because they're together and we have the mower. I'm tempted to do a harvest contract, but that'll depend on time. Oh, cultivation as well. We have a cultivator. The baler's not gone back. I could take on the baling contract, but I don't know whether I will or not. I'm kind of debating whether to hang on to the baler until next month because of the fact that the monthly fees will be less than it's going to cost me if I send it back and then take it again. I'm sure there'll be baling contracts next month. Now I'll probably have to go around and get a few bits and pieces. But yeah, I'm going to finish this episode here. I'm trying not to run them too long. I think we're just over the 40 minutes. Try and keep them short and sweet and to the point of what we're doing and that kind of way. Thanks for joining me. If you're still here and you haven't hit the like button, please do. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the series. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to see how we get on with this this playthrough and how it develops as we go through it. But for now, thanks a million for joining me. I really do appreciate it, and hopefully you'll join me again to see how we're getting on with this channel. For now, all that's left for me, as per usual, is to say goodbye for now. Bye bye.